Hey guys, I'm Cliff. Welcome to the channel today. I'm glad you guys could join me today. It's Friday today. TGIF, baby. TGIF. So what we're going to be doing today, guys, is we're going to be doing a how-to on how to make pizza dough. Many of you guys might be looking for something that you guys can do on the grill this weekend. You might be looking for something you can do for your family this weekend. This is just a tradition in my house that Fridays, we do pizza, guys. I mean, pizza is just a Friday thing. It is for many people. Friday is just that pizza night for everybody sometimes. But this is a tradition we've had for a long time. And I just wanted to kind of bring you guys a video to show you how to make this pizza dough because you may not know how to do it. Now, we're not using an all-purpose flour. You can do many recipes out there that call for all-purpose, and feel free to use those. But what we're trying to do today is we're trying to cook at a higher temperature. And I'm using a 00 Caputo flour. I got this off Amazon. I think it was about $8 to $9 for a bag of it. But we're gonna try to put these pizzas together, this dough together to show you guys how to use it. Whether you're cooking it on your grill or inside your house, I cook these on the grill, so I try to get up over 500 degrees. I try to get those higher temperatures because I just like the texture of the pizza. I think it comes out great. It gets crispy, crunchy. It won't burn because this recipe doesn't have any sugar in it. A lot of your all-purpose flour recipes will have sugar in it. So I'm glad you guys joined me today. I hope you'll hang in there to see how this dough comes out because I have a feeling you're going to be really happy with this stuff. And it's going to give you a good idea going forward on how you can make this dough each and every time perfect for your family. All right, guys, thanks for being here. All right, guys, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to kind of go through this, the what you need for this video. So you're going to need a scale. I got this scale from Bed Bath & Beyond. I think I paid like $15 for it or something. It's made by Perfect Portions. Really good for people who are dieting, doing different diets. That was one of the biggest reasons I ended up getting this scale. But I also need it for all my pizza recipes because pizza is weighed in grams. If you want to get a precise recipe every single time, you're definitely going to want to have a scale where you can measure in grams. You can measure in cups, but you're not going to get that precise dough every single time. It's not going to be able to be replicated. And with this, you can replicate every single time. I've seen results where I can replicate it much better than if I try to do cups. So that's just a little piece of advice going forward with this for most of you who don't use a scale or anything. You just use cups. You're just not going to be able to replicate that dough like you want to every single time. So definitely want to invest in your scale. Also, these are the ingredients we're using today. We're using salt, yeast. This is just an old yeast you can buy at the grocery store. It's a refrigerated kind by Fleischmann's. And then we're just using a regular old salt here. You should use kosher salt if you can get kosher salt, but I don't have kosher salt, so I'm just using plain old Morton salt, table salt. So my recipe does call for kosher salt though. And then of course you need the flour. So I'm gonna go over with you guys the quantities you're gonna need for each one of these things. But like I said, you can get this on Amazon. You get about 4 to 5 pizzas out of this. For about $8, if you average that out, that's about $2 a pizza. You know, that's not real bad. I mean, by the time you put your toppings and all into it, you probably only invest about maybe $4 a pizza. That's cheaper than what you can go out to Little Caesars and get one for. Little Caesars is $5, $6. I mean, you can definitely make your own homemade and make a great pizza at home. So I'm gonna go over the ingredients with you guys before I start showing you mixing all this stuff. Now I've already measured my ingredients out on the scale and everything's good. I'm not gonna measure each thing out. It takes too long to show you guys and you would probably lose very quick interest in it. So I just kind of want to bring you guys what the recipe is, and I'll also put this in the video so you have it. This is a John Setzler recipe. If any of you guys keep up with John Setzler, he does this. So this is 500 grams of flour, which I have right here in my bowl. I've already mixed the 500 grams in there. Measured it out. 14 grams of your salt. And it calls, like I said, for the kosher salt. We're just using old table salt. Then you'll need 1 gram of your yeast. Okay. Again, this stuff goes pretty far. That yeast will last you a while if you use it smart. And then we're going to put 1.5 cups, or excuse me, 350 grams of hot water between 100 and 105. So that's important. You want to make sure that water is between 100 and 105, because if it's too hot, it'll kill your yeast. And if it's too not warm enough, it will not activate your yeast. And then what we're going to do is, once we mix these ingredients, we're going to proof this dough. I'm going to knead it. I'm going to put it under a bowl for about 5 minutes. Then I'm going to knead it again, put it under a bowl for 5 minutes, knead it again, and do that same process 3 times. And then we're going to put it in a bowl and let it rest. I find that when you do that, it gives it your dough definitely rises more. So we're going to do that today. And so let's get going. So normally what you want to do is I got my salt here all measured out, and it's 14 grams of salt. So measured out in my little cup, I'm going to put it in my flour. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and mix that in my flour. Because yeast, you want to try to not put the yeast and salt together, because they don't really react very well to each other. Your pizza won't come out quite as good, in my opinion. You won't get it to rise like you want, and they don't like each other. Yeast and salt just don't really love each other. So try not to put them in at the same time, and try not to put them together. They are going in the bowl together eventually, but not at the same time. All right, I've got that pretty mixed. And if you got one of those fancy mixers, use it. I don't have a fancy mixer, so I'm having to go old school here with a wooden spoon. Okay, now we're going to add the yeast to it. And there's my yeast right there. Really simple, guys. This is really not hard at all to do. We're going to be cooking on the Weber Performer Deluxe today. Trying to get up over 500 degrees, and that's why it's important that this recipe doesn't have sugar in it, because we're getting those temps really kind of high up there, and when you have sugar in your recipe, it tends to burn the pizza. So we don't want to do that. If you're cooking with sugar in a recipe, you definitely want to keep the temperatures lower, probably about the 425, 450-ish mark. We're going to go a little bit hotter today. I like the results you get out of this crust at a higher temperature. It gives it a little crunch. It's just really good. So now we're going to add our water, and I'm just using an regular old measuring cup here, but we will measure this out to try to get our 350 grams. I will measure that out with you guys on camera. So let's get the scale on. We're 0. Now we got to zero out our glass. And now I'll try to pour this in here. So bear with me, guys. All right, guys, so here we go. We're getting ready to measure this water out. So we're gonna go ahead and put our measuring cup on here. Oh, cut off on me. Okay, and we're gonna zero it out to zero the glass. Okay, and now this is 350 grams or 1.5 cups. I suggest you go with the grams, because like I said, you're gonna get a precise cook every time. From what I've seen that, like I said, you do the cup method, you're not going to get that preciseness that you're wanting. And I'm adding this slowly because I don't want to exceed. I want to be right around my 350. It's 311. 324. Ooh, 345. 349, 350, perfect. And let's see here. Let's go ahead and do our measure. Perfect, guys. We're like at 102-ish. Perfect. That's what we want, man. So we're good. We're gonna go ahead and move it over to our flour now. Show you guys here. I'm gonna create a little well in the middle. And I'm just gonna pour it right in. Great. Now let's start mixing this stuff up. See my water in there? This makes a really good pizza though, guys. I just love doing these pizzas. And you know, toppings today, I think we're gonna go with cheese and probably some pepperoni when we get ready to cook these. But you know, whenever you get these pizzas made and you end up getting this stuff rose the way you want it, you know, you pick whatever toppings you want to put on here. It's supposed to be fun, so we'll go ahead and mix this up a little bit, and then we're gonna knead it out, and we're gonna try to proof it. As you guys can see, it's starting to come together. It's coming together. Well, most people are just afraid to make pizza dough, man. They just think it's too hard. It's just too many ingredients, too much involved. It's really not at all. I used to be that way. I used to think this was just too hard to do. I couldn't do it. You know, go to the pizzeria and just get them to do it because it was just easier that way. But making home pizza is like the easiest thing, man. Anybody can do this. You don't have to have a high skill level. You don't have to be the best cook in the kitchen. And I mean, you know, we don't profess to be the best cook. I don't profess to be the best cook. I mean, I'm just a backyard dad doing this just fun stuff for my family, man. And that's what this is about. All right, it's really coming together now, as y'all can see. We'll stir it just a little bit more. And like I said, if you got a KitchenAid or something to help you, use it. I really want to invest in one myself. I think it'll make my life a little bit easier. Get me a dough hook for it, but right now we're just having to do it the old-fashioned way, and there's nothing wrong with that either if this is the only way you can do it. Pizza comes out great. Okay. And what I'm going to do here, guys, is I'm going to roll it around the bowl just a few more times, and then we're going to roll it out on here. We're going to knead it for a couple minutes. And we're going to put it under our bowl, let it sit for 5 minutes. We're going to do that process 3 times. And then we're finally going to sit it in our bowl on the stove. And you can put this in the fridge for a couple days. If you want to do that, you can do that too. And a lot of people say that it comes out better. I don't normally put it in the fridge because we normally just make our dough and just go with it. But I definitely want to try doing that sometime, but I've never done that yet. We usually make our dough like about 3, 4, 5 hours before we cook them. All right. Well, it looks pretty good. I'll show you guys what this looks like. And I'm telling you, you save so much money doing this yourself too. And it's just, the quality of the taste is just so much better, in my opinion. That's what she looks like. I'm gonna put a little flour on here. We're gonna put a little flour on our work surface. We're gonna knead her out. Let's go ahead and get some of these tools out the way. Done with the scale, we're done with this. Here we go. All right. All right. All right, we're gonna knead this a little bit. We're not putting a lot of flour, just enough to not make it stick. And we're just gonna knead it over couple times, firm it up a little bit. Do a little bit more flour. And as you guys can see, that dough is coming together really good. And we're about to do a magic trick where we make it disappear. Fold it over one more time. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna make it disappear. You guys ready for this magic trick? Whoa. All right. All right, so we're gonna let this sit on this bowl for like 5 minutes. And then in 5 minutes, we'll take it up and we'll knead it again. All right, guys, so we're gonna take it out the bowl, from under the bowl. And we're gonna do that same process. Looks like it started to stick a little bit, but that's okay, because we're gonna put some more flour down. We're gonna do the same process. You don't have to do this. This is not something that you have to do. You could just roll it, like from when we mixed it. You could just roll it up, get it into your ball, and then put it on the stove, or put it in your bowl and let it rise, and then put it in the fridge. That's up to you. Keep that in mind. You can do, this is kind of an alternative proofing thing I'm doing. Let's put a little tiny bit down. Granted, this is not a big step. It's not like a much harder step for you to do. You know, you just knead it a few times, fold it over, put it back onto your bowl, done deal. I mean, not a much harder deal if you do want to do this. So I know some of you guys out there are thinking, gosh, that's just too much trouble, but it's really not, man. It's not a lot of trouble, and I find that the pizzas just come out better when you do this. Not saying you can't get a good pizza the other way. That's definitely not what I'm saying. All right, so I'm gonna put a little bit down here so it doesn't stick again while it's under the bowl. Look at that ball, it's coming together much better too. Let's cover it, and we'll let that go another 5 minutes. All right, guys, this is our second round of proofing. And let's go ahead and put a little bit more flour down, knead it for a minute or two, and put it back under the bowl for the last time. Fold it one more time. All right, guys, so we let it proof that third time, and now we have it in the bowl. As you can see, it's already rising really well. It's probably been in the bowl for a few minutes. So basically just wanted to show you guys what I did. I put the dough in there, in this bowl that we were proofing with. As you can see, it's the same bowl. And then I put some olive oil in this bowl. I kind of coated the bottom of the bowl with some olive oil, and I put this cheesecloth over the top of it. This cheesecloth's optional. I like to use this cheesecloth because it's got pores in it, and I've read a lot of articles and I've watched a lot of videos on people who use this, and they claim this is better than covering it with foil and then covering it with wax paper or whatever you might have around the house, because it has holes in it, it's porous, and it allows the air to get in to help rise this dough. I don't know, man. I'm not a pizza professional. I'm not a big science buff, so I don't know, you know, if that's true or not. But I've used this, and it does seem to help. It does seem like it helps it rise better. So you guys can use whatever you got, man. If you got wax paper, if you got foil, I've used foil many times. Pizzas come out great. I mean, we ended up buying some of this just to try this. You may want to try it. Seems like the pizza comes out great. I mean, too. So. And it does seem like it rises a little bit better. But that's kind of up to you, man. If you want to do that, do it. If not, just go with whatever you got around the house. I mean, I wouldn't go broke trying to find the stuff, or go out of your way trying to find it. If you got something else at the house laying around, just cover it up with that. So basically, just wanted to kind of recap with you guys what we did today. So we kind of did this recipe for this 00 flour. I just wanted to really bring you guys a how-to, because a lot of people just don't know where to start with pizza sometimes. And when you start talking about rising and it needs time to rise, people start getting a little scared about doing pizza. So really just wanted to bring you guys a video today to show you that it's really not that hard. We're all stuck in the house, we're all in quarantine, and people are looking for ways to make things like this. So I really just wanted to bring you guys a really quick, easy video. Again, remember, we used the 500 grams of that 00 flour. You're gonna need that 00 flour. We used 14 grams of the salt. We used 1 gram of yeast. And don't forget that you can put seasonings in with this recipe also. I didn't do that today. That was my bust. I usually do put some kind of garlic powder, onion powder, red pepper flakes, and I mix it in with my mixture. I didn't do that today, but you can do that, and it comes out really good. A lot of times too, what I'll do is I'll roll my pizzas out and I'll brush them with some kind of butter and some seasoning. So you can do that too. They also sell flavored seasoning, pizza crust seasoning, if you wanted to buy some. I've never personally bought any, so I can't recommend any to you right now. I usually make my own. But basically we did that. We mixed all of our dough together. Once we got all of our ingredients in there, we got the water in there at 100 to 105. Once we got the water in there, we started mixing. Make sure your water is 100 to 105. Like I said, if it's below, it won't activate that yeast. If it's above, it'll kill your yeast. So just make sure you're within that range. Get you a thermometer, like a Thermopen or some kind of thermometer, to measure your water. And once you do that, get your water put into the mixture. You start mixing it like I did in the bowl with a spoon. You finally get it to the consistency of a thicker consistency. You pour it out on your work surface, put some flour down, make sure you put flour down, and then you just start working it. If you want to do the proofing method, you do what I did. You just knead the dough over a few times, put the bowl over for 5 minutes, come back to it, knead it again, put the bowl over it. The third time, do the same process 3 times. Some people only do that 2 times, and then on the 3rd time, they just go ahead and put it in a bowl. You could do that too, but I did it 3 times. So we got it in the bowl, and we got it to the point you saw it now, where it's in the bowl. It's got the cheesecloth over it, and it's ready to go, guys. So we'll let this go for about 2-3 hours, and then that'll be it, man. I'll end up cutting these things in half, and I'll end up making 2 pizzas out of this. You could make 1 real big pizza if you wanted to, but that's on you guys, whatever you want to do. But I just really wanted to show you guys a simple process today for making this dough. I know you can do it. I know you'll be able to do it. So hope this simplified things for you. Hope this helps you out. It's helped me out. I love homemade pizza, and I guarantee once you do this, you're gonna be like, man, that was so easy. Cliff showed us the easiest way to do this, and I'm gonna stay home and make pizza now. So like again, I hope you guys like this video. If you like what we're doing here, man, think about subscribing. We're coming out with videos all the time. We're always got new stuff coming out. We're always playing on our grills outside. So if you haven't checked my channel out and you don't really know what my channel is all about, go check my channel out. Go see some of the videos that I've done, some of the food I've done. So appreciate you guys stopping in today. Give me a thumbs up if you liked the video, guys. And until the next one, man, I'm Cliff with T-Way Eats Barbecue Treats.